Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I did my Nutcracker cup. I know it's late. I started it before Christmas, and with the holidays, you know how that goes. So at least you'll have it for next year. So this is a 20-ounce skinning from Hog. It's been sanded and spray painted with Rust-Oleum 2X matte white. This is kind of like doing a pencil cup. It's got the different sections. So I am going to use a ruler and a pencil to measure out the different sections, and then I am going to mark those measurements all the way around the cup so that I can use them to lay my tape down. This first section is for the crown, and it is 1/2 inch. The next section is a black band, and it's 1/2 inch. The next section is the face, and that one is 2 inches. Then after that is the shirt, and that one is 1.5 inches. And then we have the belt, and that's 1/2 inch. Then the pants, and those are 2.5 inches. And the last section is just a little over 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to do the same thing at I'm going to do the same thing around the cup. So now I can use the pencil marks to lay my tape down. I'll just follow those marks all the way around the cup. So now I just have the areas that I'm going to be working on first, except for the face. The face will be last. So the next thing I'm going to do is, if your file doesn't have the crown in it, then you're going to have to make your own. So this is one way to do it. I just went to the shapes in Cricut Design Space. I chose the triangle shape. I made it 1 inch high, and then I duplicated it 10 times. Once I had it duplicated, then I lined them up Don't worry about getting them in a straight line. Just get them lined up next to each other. Then you're going to select all of them, and you're going to go up to where it says align, and you're going to center vertically, and that lines them up straight. So I wanted to be able to put this on. If I do it this way, I want to be able to put it on in one piece. But if I leave it just like this, the points where the two diamonds connect is so small that it'll break really easily, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add a band to the bottom of this, just to give just a little bit more thickness. You don't have to make yours as thick as I made mine, just whatever looks right to you. So once you have that, then you're going to select it all, and then you want to weld them together. And then you're going to size it the way you need it. So the top band where these are going to go is 1/2 inch. So I made it 1/2 inch high, and then I measured around my cup where the band was going to be going, and that's how long I made it. And then just cut it out and it's ready to go. This is another way of doing it, and this is the way I've done the 2 or 3 Nutcracker cups that I've done. I had parts of an old chevron pattern laying around, and those little bits down there at the bottom, some people use those on their chevron cups. I don't use them, so they just go to waste. So I thought they looked like a crown to me, so I'm measuring 1/2 inch down from the top point, and then I'm going to cut those off, and that's what I'm going to use as my crown stencil. So if you have a chevron pattern laying around, these little bits down at the top and the bottom of the pattern are perfect for the Nutcracker crown. And I honestly did not check to see how long it was. It almost looks like it's the length of the ruler. So maybe 12 inches, 11.5 inches is how long it was. So now I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife and cut that top half of it off. Even if yours is not the same length as mine is, just try and make it work. Try and make them fit on there. So I am putting it, I didn't notice at the time, but I am putting these in the wrong spot. But in the next section I will have it all fixed. But it happens. But I didn't get past this stage, past the stencil part before I noticed, so that was a good thing. All I had to do was take them off and put them where they were supposed to go. So they fit perfectly on there. So as you can see, I put it in the second section instead of the first. So I got it all fixed, and now we're ready to go. So I'm going to paint all my black sections first. The hat band, if you will, the belt, and the bottom part of the cup are all black. So that's what we're going to do first. And again, I'm going to use acrylic paint to adhere my glitter. You can use epoxy. You just have to do each section at a time, let it dry, and then once it's dried, then you can move on to the next section. So you can do it that way. It's going to prolong how long finishing the cup takes, but you can do it that way. You can use Mod Podge if you want. But I used acrylic paint, so I did the first layer of paint, let it dry. As you can see, it wasn't completely dry, but it was mostly dry. So now I put a second layer of paint on, and I'm using that to adhere my glitter to. This glitter I'm using is black velvet. So now I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to move on to the next section. And that little drying block that you see there, that was a gift from one of the ladies in my group. If you're interested in it, I will leave a link to the website in the description. She saw how I was always balancing my cups on the table and how they almost fall sometimes. So she surprised me with 2 of those. So thank you, Nancy. Next section we're going to do is the pants. Oh, the pants and the crown. Sorry, it's been a while since I... And you can use whatever color combinations you want. I would suggest going and looking on Pinterest and, you know, just trying to get some different ideas and then make it your own from there. So the 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 face and the pants and the shirt, everyone pretty much does the same, but the crown part, there's a couple of different ways and a couple of different color combinations that I saw. So just look around and just get some inspiration and then make it your own. This color of glitter is called Oceana. It's the first blue glitter I got when I started selling glitter, so it's my favorite. And I'm doing it in sections here because I'm using a small brush, as you can see. So by the time I got done painting all the way around the cup, the paint would already be dry. So since I'm using this smaller brush, I'm having to do a section at a time. But it doesn't, it's not noticeable. So if that's how you have to do it, it's okay. You won't be able to tell. So now we're going to let this part dry and then we'll move on. So now I'm going to start peeling off my stencil. I don't know why I did that. I don't now looking back at the video, I don't know why I pulled the stencil off and then did the shirt. I don't know. So yeah, painting the shirt. We're going to let it dry. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do another layer of paint and then add our glitter. And now I have the bigger brush. And I don't know why I didn't use it. I think it was, well, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't use the bigger brush for the blue. This glitter is called Americana. It's red, obviously, and it's got gold flashes to it. Now I'm going to the gold. And this glitter is called Gold Dust. It's a holographic glitter. Now, for this next part, I would suggest, once you get all these colors, if you're happy with them, I would suggest you go and seal them before you do the face part. So if you use clear spray, if you use quick coat, whatever, I would suggest sealing those before you start the face. And yes, you can see I got a boo-boo. That is a peach colored acrylic paint that I got on my black. So I'm just going to try and dab off any of the excess. And honestly, I can't remember, because I'm actually looking at the cup right now as I'm recording this, and I can't tell where I touched it up, but I also cannot remember if I sprinkled more glitter onto it. I'm sure I did, because as you can see, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take some black acrylic paint and I'm going to pretty much paint over where I got that boo-boo. I did not do it while I was recording, so I might have done it after I got done recording and I kind of took the time to look at it. I might have. I honestly can't remember, but I probably did, because that black paint would have covered up the glitter, but it also covered up that peach paint too, so problem solved. But as you can see, so yeah, I probably did go back and sprinkle glitter on it. So now we're doing our second layer of peach paint, and this next glitter is a custom mix that I created, and it's called Summer Glow, and it's good for skin tones when you need them for cups like this. So now you want to go and seal that really well. This cup, as you can see, I'm sanding it, so it was sealed with Rust-Oleum 2X matte clear spray about 2 times, and then I added 2 coats of CCDIY quick coat, and then I did 25 mLs of epoxy. And now I'm sanding it and I'm getting ready to add my decals. I did not include me sealing the cup and doing the epoxy because you've seen me do it many times in my other tutorials, but if you need to see it, just go back and pick one of my other tutorials and you'll see me sealing and epoxying. So I got this decal off of Etsy. I will leave the link for it in the description. And depending on the size of your cup, you're going to have to make some size adjustments. And it just depends. I mean, I can give you the measurements that I used, but it depends on, it also depends on you and what you think looks good. It depends. I mean, it just depends. Some people might think that the face I put on mine is too small. I think it's perfect size, but some people might think it's too small. So you're just going to have to, it's personal preference. But I will leave the measurements in the description. So the decal that I used has to be layered. The face part of it has to be layered. So as you can see, I have all of that first layer covered with the backing paper except for that one eye, and that just helps me to place it on there easier. Sometimes the two pieces, they're like magnets and they want to attach to each other before you're ready to attach them. So putting up that backing paper helps me to position it to where I want it without the rest of the decals sticking before I want it to. I hope that makes sense. So now I have the two layers all ready to go. And the belt buckle was way too big. I don't know why I didn't notice that before I cut it, but it was way too big. So I did have to go and cut another one. Tried to make it work and it just wasn't working. And this vinyl that I'm using for the belt buckle, and I call them vest extenders. I'm not sure exactly what they're called for this, for the Nutcracker cup, but I call them vest extenders. But anyway, the vinyl that I'm using for this part, it's Cricut. It's a textured metallic gold vinyl from Cricut. I really like using it. So as you can see, my belt buckle is smaller, more narrow, so it fits on that belt part of the cup. I didn't like how high those vest extenders were going up, so I'm going to lay my belt down first and then I will apply those vest extenders. Now I'm going to apply the face part, and some of the files on Etsy, some had a beard. I actually don't remember seeing a whole lot of these Nutcracker files on Etsy. There were a few, but not a lot. But like pictures on interest, some of the cups had beards like mine do. Some of them didn't have a beard. So it just depends. So as you can see, the beard is going to come down and over the top of those vest extenders, but I didn't mind that at all. And the way I lined it up was the teeth on the bottom, I kind of lined those up with the top of the red section, and that's how I got it on there straight. And you can see when I hold the cup up here in a second, you're going to see like some ridges on the beard where it's laying over the top of those vest extenders. That goes away with epoxy. You won't be able to see those ridges, so don't worry about that. Now I'm going to let this sit for a few hours just to make sure that my vinyl is fully adhered and stuck to the cup, so that when I apply my epoxy, it doesn't peel up. This is another 25 mLs of epoxy, just because the surface of the cup is uneven because of that vinyl. So I put 25 mLs, and that was enough to make the surface of the cup nice and smooth. This cup has been on my bucket list for a long time. I always thought it was hard, but it's really pretty easy. It's just like doing a pencil cup. And here's another look at the final piece. I really had fun making this. Thank you for watching. Bye everyone.